You're probably thinking, oh my god, is he actually talking about that shoe again? Yeah. What's good everyone on YouTube? It's me again, back with another video. And to rewind it back to one of my older Asics videos, we are actually talking about another Gel-Delva in what I have said is the best colorway to exist. Now, you know, if you had seen my old Gel-Delva review, this is going to sound a lot like the same thing. This really isn't providing anything new in terms of what I am going to explain. This is just an opportunity for me to rave about what I personally think is the most beautiful Gel-Delva to exist to this day. And there's kind of an interesting story as to how I got these. It was the Black Yeezy release that was happening. I was up on Yeezy Supply as everyone was trying to get it. And after taking my L, I think I just decided to go look around on some other websites, and Slam Jam had apparently restocked this exact shoe in my size. And I know it was full price, very painful to say, but I just couldn't pass up the opportunity. So actually the white ones have already left the collection, and this has pretty much replaced it. So just give this to me, I need to rave about my favorite colorway. So, without further ado, today we're talking about the Asics Kiko Kostadinov Gel-Delva in the caramel colorway. So, with the intro out of the way, let's get into the box. So, if you saw my last review, it's going to be the exact same thing. You've got the same dimensions and color of the Asics box. So, we've got the A logo and Kiko Kostadinov written at the top. Then you got it written on each side of the lid, doing some spinning action. And then when we open up the lid, we've actually got just this standard wrapping paper, and the shoes are stuffed with standard packing paper. Now this was actually released before the white ones, and the first three colorways of the Gel-Delvas actually came with extra laces. So on this pair, you've actually got these flat black laces with caramel sort of brown sprinkled within it. And yeah, I'm not sure if extra laces really justified the full retail of this particular shoe, but anything to make me feel better. And if we read the side, it reads Gel-Delva. Easy enough. So, the retail price on these, at least on Slam Jam Socialism, they were full price, and yeah, pretty much full price at shipping. So I ended up paying 393 Australian dollars. I'll put the conversion here. And 100% honest, it's one of those emotion things. On paper, this does not make sense, but in terms of how much I really love this colorway, I thought it was a fair price. And also, it was pretty hard to find these in the aftermarket, so to get them at retail, I'm always happy about. So, with the box out of the way, let's get into the shoes. And here we are, the Asics Kiko Kostadinov Gel-Delvas in the caramel colorway. So pretty much, I've mentioned this before in my last video, but for those that actually don't know, if you look at the midsole and the heel clip, you'll notice that this is pretty much a juiced up Kayano 24 with some ribbing thrown on the upper pretty much. So with the addition of like some fuse and some rib textures and fuse on the toe, it pretty much is a gassed up Kayano 24, which, you know, as a high performance running shoe, it's actually fairly comfortable, but I'll talk about that later. So the main thing we've got is this rib texture that goes along the entire shoe, and it's done in this nice sort of caramel brown color. And then peeking through, we've got this Asics logo in the cream color. And then on the toe, we've got black fuse, but on the laces and sort of near the back, we've got this nice cream color. And honestly, I'm just still kind of like in love with how these colors play off each other. We've also got on the heel this usual sort of diamond pattern that was found on the Kayano 24, and this is actually 3M reflective, so when you hit it with a flash, you will get a nice little pop to it. And funny enough, like with all the Kiko Kostadinov collaborations, the only branding you get on the shoe is actually on the insole. So we've got Kiko Kostadinov written on the left shoe, and then on the right shoe, we've actually, let me just check, we've actually got just the Asics logo written. So I always find that kind of interesting. It's one of those things where unless you know what it is, you just kind of think it's a bizarre Asics shoe. And then moving down to the midsole, we've got the same flight foam setup with the Duo Max, Dynamic Duo Max on the other side, which is a firmer foam. And then you've got like visible gel on the heel and at the front. And this gel color, I always thought was brown in photos, but when you actually get it in person, it's actually a clear gel, and the color is just the midsole bleeding through it. So I'm not sure if that's going to pick up on camera, but there you go. And then we've got the usual K24 outsole, and with its all glorious guidance line and rubber, and my laces are falling out. So that pretty much covers the Gel-Delva in this caramel colorway. In terms of sizing, I feel like this fits the same as the white pairs, so for myself, I would say these fit true to size. So I bought these in a 9.5, I'm usually a US 9.5, and they fit me great. Now, in terms of comfort, because this really is a modified running shoe, it has all the comfort benefits of a running shoe. So the flight foam has this nice squish to it, the gel has a pretty good impact protection. I'm not someone who rolls his feet inwards, so this Dynamic Duo Max doesn't really do much for me. But pretty much, yeah, this midsole feels quite nice. And the upper, despite the fact it's got these additional sort of ladder kind of like material and design on it, it really doesn't do much in terms of restricting its flexibility. So it's still a fairly flexible running shoe. So overall, I would say comfort-wise, this is actually quite good. Now we get into the part of the video where I talk about my opinions on this shoe. And to be 100% honest, I've mentioned this before. When I first saw the Gel-Delva, I thought it was the worst shoe I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, it was pretty ugly when I first looked at it. But I didn't mention this before. I always really thought the caramel colorway was interesting, but I just hated the design so much that the colorway wasn't enough to pull me just yet. But I think over time, the more I saw the colorway and the more I saw fits and outfits and pictures of the shoe, the more I started to really regret not picking them up. And when I was looking around on things like Grailed, I could never find them on Facebook. A lot of prices on Grailed were pretty ridiculous. People were selling their used pairs for 300 USD, which is like the retail price. And I was always just thinking like, I'm not about to spend that much on a used pair of shoes. So when Slam Jam decided to restock them, I just couldn't say no because this was in my size as well. I didn't have to half size up or down and, I don't know, double sock or no sock it. But overall, I would just say this honestly is kind of like a work of art in my opinion. The colors just play off each other really nicely. And it's pretty subdued that it kind of goes well with different outfits as well. And just overall, I think, honestly, this is one of those, I wouldn't go as far to say this is like a wave runner or anything like that, but I definitely say it's one of those sort of timeless, not timeless, but iconic colorways for the shoe. And yeah, I'm just really happy that I finally got this in the collection, but yeah, pushed the white one straight out as soon as I got these, but let's be honest, this one's way better. Just ran out of thoughts to say. Anyway, we'll just finish it. So, with that, we've come to the end of another video. Now, I'd love to hear what you think about this Asics Gel-Delva in the caramel colorway. And out of the initial 3 colorways, which was your favorite? So, this was my favorite for sure, and this is my favorite for all 6 colorways. Then I'd probably say the black one, and then, I just burped. The forest green one could probably just not release and I wouldn't have cared, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video, and if you're into more sneaker content and that sort of thing, consider subscribing to the channel. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'll catch you guys in another video.